Hello and welcome everyone, this is Mario. Today I'm riding the 20th stage of the Tour de France 2019 in Pro Cycling Manager, and this is going to be the final chance for the GC contenders to make a move up in the classification. Tomorrow's stage is the typical arrival at the Champs-Élysées. So today we have again a quite short stage, 131.9 kilometers long, but with several difficulties along the way. We start early in the stage with the Gourmet de Roseland. Then we have midway through the stage the Côte de Longuefoy. And then we have a summit finish at the Montée de Val Thorens. So being the final chance for the GC contenders, I will of course try something with Enric Mas today. He's ninth in the GC, just a little over 30 seconds behind Steven Kruijswijk and Vincenzo Nibali, so he can go to up to 7th place without much difficulties, I would say. But to get to the objective I set in the beginning of top 5, he would need to overtake also Egan Bernal, who is about 1.5 minutes ahead, and Alejandro Valverde 2 minutes ahead of Enric Mas. This will also be the deciding stage for the mountain classification. In the previous stage, Julian Alaphilippe did amazingly. He is now leading the classification by 30 points over Richie Porte. There are 35 points available today, so he just needs to be third in the first climb of this day, the Gourmet de Roseland, to take 6 points and to wrap up the classification. So the riders are now departing from Albertville. Enric Mas is on a +2 day, and Alaphilippe being on a 0 race day condition today is also going to be very helpful for the mountain points I want to take with him. So let's put him in the breakaway already. Although apparently the other riders are not really happy that Alaphilippe is already going. So let's keep position now for a bit and maybe try to go again in a few more kilometers. So the riders in the breakaway today are now about to start the ascension of the Gourmet de Roseland. We managed to get Alaphilippe in the breakaway, but now he's losing contact with Dan Martin. Let's try to get him back. The pace by the peloton was really strong early on in the stage. So yeah, the riders in the breakaway are really tired already, but they now have almost 3 minutes lead over the peloton. Let's try to decrease the pace a bit now, and let's go get some mountain points here. Today, Warren Barguil is not in the breakaway. Richie Porte is trying to get into this group, but is really tired at the moment. So this might be already a good sign that Alaphilippe is going to be able to take the polka dot in this Tour de France. And so right now the riders in the breakaway group, these 5 men, are 6.5 minutes ahead of the peloton and a little less than 9 kilometers from the top of the Gourmet de Roseland, and the pace is quite slow at the moment. Also in the peloton, the riders are really just cruising at a low pace, so the differences are not going to be made in this one. And so in the breakaway we are now 3.5 kilometers from the top of this climb. I'm going to put Alaphilippe closer to the front of the group so that he can be in control of what happens in this climb, so that Richie Porte doesn't take more points than him. If Alaphilippe is ahead of Richie Porte in this climb, he will take the polka dot. If he gets third, even if Porte is first, he will get the polka dot. So this climb is going to be decisive. 1.5 kilometers now. Let's follow Richie Porte. I missed the click here. Let's try to do this. If Alaphilippe keeps as he's doing in third, he's going to take the points. So yes, Alaphilippe is going to wrap up this classification. He was third in this climb. Richie Porte was first, but he will be in control of the mountain classification. So the breakaway riders are now in the Côte de Longue Foix, and of course I'm not going to worry anymore about the mountain points. So I will just try to stick with Julian Alaphilippe in this group. They have 8 minutes still over the peloton, so it's quite possible that they may challenge for the stage win. In the meantime, in the peloton, the pace is increasing significantly, and I'm having to increase the effort by Enric Mas and Kasper Asgreen already, and Elia Viviani is going to get dropped. I tried to have him getting water for his companions, but he couldn't do it. And Lampard and Morkau will also be soon be dropped. And now we have an attack by Richie Porte and Ilnur Zakarin. Let's try to stick with Dan Martin and Nicolas Zede and not waste that much energy for now. And the riders in the breakaway are now 33.3 kilometers from the top, from the finish of this stage, and they are starting the ascension to Val Thorens. It's going to take forever to reach the top of this climb. So the peloton is already in Val Thorens as well. I'm having Enric Mas in the front of the peloton, protected by Kasper Asgreen. So let's try to play it cautiously again and see if we can reap the benefits of that. In the meantime, Alaphilippe is still in the front with 6 minutes over the peloton, and let's see how he does and if it's going to be possible to take the stage win with him. So we have a strong presence of Astana men in this group. I think I need to increase the effort a bit with Enric Mas and also have Kasper Asgreen on the energy gel already. Is almost out of energy, so Enric Mas will be alone, and the pace in the front is quite slow. Actually, it's Alaphilippe doing most of the work. Let's drop his pace a bit because it's not really helpful, and the peloton is taking a lot of time from the breakaway. So yeah, maybe Alaphilippe will still be used as a domestique for Enric Mas further ahead in this stage. So we have the first attack from the peloton. It's Jakob Fuglsang trying to do something here. Let's try to take it easy with Enric Mas, not wasting too much energy. Still 2.5 minutes separating the peloton from the front group. Alaphilippe is really short of energy by now, so I don't really think he's going to be able to take the stage. So in the front group, Nicolas Zede is being dropped now. I need to lower the pace with Alaphilippe. He cannot follow Richie Porte and Dan Martin. He's being dropped as well. So yeah, I'm not going to take the stage. Let's just wait for Enric Mas and then try to help him in the final kilometers of the stage. Another attack by Fuglsang is being followed by Wout Poels. He brought Fuglsang back in, so it was a really weak attack by the Danish rider. And Alaphilippe is already getting close to Enric Mas, so it's going to be quite useful to have the French rider with Mas. So the peloton is now in the final 10 kilometers of the Montée de Val Thorens, and it's time for increasing the pace. Movistar is already doing that. I need to... Oh, Fuglsang is trying to go again, and Wout Poels responding again to the attack of the Danish rider, and he manages to bring him back once more. Let's get Enric Mas a bit further to the front of the group. He dropped a bit after this attack, and now it's Thibaut Pinot attacking, and who is trying to follow? Egan Bernal and Andre Amador pacing in the group. Let's get a bit more to the front with Enric Mas, and the final kilometers are just upon us. Let's keep here with Enric Mas. Alaphilippe is done for today, and I don't want to waste too much energy with Enric Mas, but let's try to pace like this for a bit now. I hope this goes down well. Let's drop it a bit to 70. I cannot keep that pace. And another attack by Nibali and Pinot. Let's increase the pace a bit. I'm not going to follow the attacks. That might be suicidal. 4.7 kilometers to go. Let's keep a steady pace. I think it's the best strategy. Fuglsang is trying to attack again. Let's give Enric Mas his energy gel and let's see what I can do. Come on, don't fail me today, Enric Mas. This is too hard. A lot of riders are really strong. Mas is being dropped. Oh, should I have pushed a bit more? Let's try to go at 90 now. Oh, I think I was too cautious. Vincenzo Nibali is here, so I'm taking some time from him. Where is Steven Kruijswijk? Is he behind? Yes, Kruijswijk is behind. Can I take some time on Nibali and Kruijswijk enough to get 7th in the GC? Oh, I hope I can do that. And the winner of the stage is Dan Martin, and then Geraint Thomas still gets 3rd. Valverde was 4th, so a really strong performance by Valverde. Let's see how I do here. I think there are roughly 30 seconds separating Mas from Vincenzo Nibali. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to overtake Nibali here. But Enric Mas was 8th in the stage. He surely is going to overtake Kruijswijk in the GC. So Daniel Martin was the strongest today, taking a win from the breakaway ahead of Richie Porte at the top of the Monte de Val Thorens. Dan Martin taking another stage win for Team Emirates. They won at least the first stage of this race with Alexander Kristoff. And in the GC, Enric Mas did manage to get 7th. Oh wow! I thought it wasn't enough to overtake Vincenzo Nibali, but it did it. And of course, Geraint Thomas basically seals the win in the GC. Julian Alaphilippe did enough to take the mountain classification, so the polka dot jersey will be his in Paris. There were, of course, no changes in the top of the points classification, with Sagan keeping the 60-point lead over Elia Viviani. Egan Bernal still manages to keep his best young rider jersey with 1 minute and 37 over Enric Mas. And no surprises here as well, as Team Ineos conserves the lead in the team classification. So Dan Martin takes the final mountain stage of the Tour de France 2019. He was in the breakaway of the day, together with Richie Porte, who got to the finish line with the same time as Dan Martin, but in the final meters, Martin was the strongest and took the stage win. Behind them, Geraint Thomas was the strongest from the peloton, or from the favorites group. He got to the finish line with the same time as Alejandro Valverde, so also a really strong performance by the Spanish world champion in this stage. Then we have Simon Yates, Jakob Fuglsang, and Michael Kwiatkowski, again really strong in the mountains, finishing all 1 minute and 19 behind Dan Martin, and 20 seconds behind them were Enric Mas and Egan Bernal. So Enric Mas, I think he did really well again. I maybe could have gotten a bit better result here. Maybe I could have reached the finish line in the same group as Simon Yates, Fuglsang, and Kwiatkowski, but it was a nice result anyway. And I managed to gain 38 seconds over Vincenzo Nibali and even more over Steven Kruijswijk. This led to a few changes in the GC, as Enric Mas went up from 9th to 7th. This means, of course, that Geraint Thomas will be the winner of the Tour de France. So we are going to the final stage in Paris, with the arrival in Paris with most classifications basically set. The GC is in Geraint Thomas's hands. Also, the mountain classification is wrapped up. Julian Alaphilippe is going to be in the podium in Paris, taking the polka dot jersey, and the only open classification is the points classification, although it's going to be really hard to change that, because Peter Sagan has 60 points over Elia Viviani, and in total there are 70 points available in the next stage. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this stage. It was really interesting to ride. That final climb is really something to behold. It's really impressive with so many kilometers. And I think I did pretty okay with Enric Mas. So if, like me, you have enjoyed the stage, please click the like button. Also, please comment below on what you think I could have done better today with either Mas or Alaphilippe. And if you're new to my channel, please make sure you see some of my other videos, and if you enjoy them, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I will really appreciate your support, and I hope to see you next time for the final stage of the Tour de France 2019 in Pro Cycling Manager. Bye!